Hi guys, this is SDJR7F88 speaking with my 12th update on Compton Martin. Now this update is going to be another jam-packed update. Last update, which was last weekend, you probably saw that I had all the buildings laid out on the layout, and that's quite a long video. This one is going to be another long update because a lot has happened, and you can probably see quite a bit of it in the actual sort of scene you're seeing now. First of all, the ballasting is finally complete. I am so pleased. I've actually managed to finish the ballasting. Obviously there may be a few little areas which might need touching up because it'll be chipped off and stuff by accident, or and obviously it needs weathering. Most of it quite a bit needs weathering at the moment, but no, it is complete. Now the as you can see down here along the front of this bit of wood, that's just supporting it there at the moment. I've just put in the last bit of ballast which will line the front of the station, as the same is along here as well. I'm just using that to square it up, although it has got a bit all blobby there, but that could be chipped away. But so it's all nice and smooth like this bit here because it's a bit nice and dry, so the platform will slot in there. I have also actually started weathering parts of it. Mainly this, basically the centres and the edges of the rails. Not there yet though. But as you can see here, I have actually weathered the centre of it. Now, that was amazingly quite simple. Obviously there was you could use spray paints, or like I mentioned, like dripping black paint into water and stuff. As long as it goes in water, that is, and doesn't ruin the bond of the paint. But I'm going to use that paint for the inside the rails, as I mentioned. But this I used. I showed you it last update, but I'll show you again. Fine earth turf. Basically, I put another layer of that really watered down PVA glue that I created using PVA, water, and a bit of green washing up liquid. And basically you go to seal all the ballasting to make sure it's really nice and rock solid. Because it's going to be moved about and battered about a bit, obviously being an exhibition layout. So and then once I put that last layer of glue on top, I just sprinkled a tiny little bit on top, as you can see, and then you just I patted it down a bit, because there's a few little clumps of it, because it goes a bit clumpy in the bag sometimes. And it sort of works, if you do that, it works its way into the ballast, and it actually blends in, and it's like little fine weeds coming up through the rocks, which is perfect, brilliant. So I'm really pleased with that. Obviously I've got some bits of coal in there, well not coal, but cinders in there, from the coaling siding. But yeah, the engine siding. Obviously I blended in the pipe, as you can see. Now, this you can see is bits of ballast in the bottom of the water gully or whatever that I've put on here. Obviously bits of it will need to be scraped out a bit, make it a bit tiny bit flatter. But yeah, it's coming up all right. But basically that will be painted brown all the way along, and then I'll have little reeds and stuff, and I'll put a tiny thin little dribble, because it's a summer's day, like it's still a tiny bit of water in there, like from the previous bit of rain that happened when on the day that the period or whatever the layout is set, just sit in the bottom. And obviously the pipe's still got to be painted, but the ballasting as well, all done between all the points. All the points work, although they are a bit stiff, they just need a bit moving. There they are. And obviously I've got to clean the tracks thoroughly, to make sure all the connections are good. But I've also ballasted around here. You can see that's where the water tower is going to go, which I showed you last update. The reason why that hasn't been installed yet is because I'm going to weather it. Like all my weathered steel-sided wagons that I've been doing up. It's going to be weathered like that. But you can see all the little bits of weeds are all done around there. All done around there as well. That's where the signal's to. I've still got to clean some of the little bits out. Oh, but another good thing. I mentioned about the ballast. The ballast had changed over. And it was like really fine and then really coarse here. Well, I actually went into Antics in Bristol with my mates, just going around town sort of thing. Went to Antics, and literally I just looked on the Woodland Scenic stand in there, and literally there was just one bag left of medium ballast, and it was totally different to all the others, and it was the fine stuff. It was a really old grubby bag. I'm not sure what happened, but it must have been dropped in the factory or something, covered in glue, and no one was buying it for that reason. But it was like a saviour to me, so I bought that bag as quickly as possible. I got it home and I poured it, because the bag was really grubby, into the old bag. And as you can see, there's I can compare it, can't I? Have I? Can I compare it? Oh no, I haven't got the old bag down here. But no, I've got the but they're basically, as you can see, this is it's still medium ballast. That's what the other bag said. Well, what you can make through from the goo that was on it or whatever. But there are, that's the finer stuff, and that's what's done the whole layout. And so I've got a spare bag in case any comes off. Yeah, well, half a bag anyway. So yeah, I'm pleased with that. But yeah, so I'm really chuffed getting that bag. You can see I've done it all around here as well. I've done all that. Anyway, another part of the update. I've done the tarmacking. Well, parts of it. This is that rough paint. I've actually textured paint from green scenes, light tarmac. As you can see, it's obviously still got dust all off because there's bits of grit everywhere. I've done the road. I've done like the little car parky like area down the back. But yeah, it looks pretty good. It's a bit coarse in places, but that could be easily be rubbed down. But I borrowed this pot of paint from #1 classic car fan, my mate. He's having trouble with his YouTube channel. I think he's going to create a new one. That's if he wants to do any videos, that is, because he's quite a busy person. But anyway, yeah, he let me borrow this paint from his layout, and I'm probably going to have to use this video as a bit of an apology to him, because I used the whole pot, literally. It was very, very thick. Yeah, it was very, very thick stuff, and literally that whole pot was massive. It was like that. I used it all on just these little sections, and annoyingly, I didn't manage to complete it all. So I'm going to have to get a new bag, pot of it. Although I don't feel it was as good as what I thought it was going to be first time. I mean, the colour doesn't look very realistic, but I knew that from the start, and I'm planning on repainting it anyway. As you can see, that's why I've left it on the edge, because one, when it goes on, it's quite gloopy, and I didn't want it to spill over onto the ballast in the rails and stuff. So basically what I did is I ended up, I'm just going to paint it all a totally different tone. Maybe some sort of like beigey grey colour, something like that, concrete-y, tarmac-y colour. And what I'm thinking of doing here is getting some ballast, grinding it up in some sort of herb grinder, and you know what you get in the kitchen for putting basil or whatever in, and finally grind it into like a really, really, really fine powder, as you can see, like in the paint, and mix it up with some of that paint that I'm planning to paint over this, and just literally maybe put a bit of glue down, sprinkle it all on, and then paint over it all in that lovely colour that I'm yet to decide on what to paint it. The same will be done for the road, because that is, it kind of clashes. I know it seems silly because it's supposed to be set on a thing, but obviously you get concrete by ballast, but it really does seem a bit childlike, nice childlike. And that's another thing, I've still got to scrape all the ballast off the sleepers, if you're wondering why it's still a bit messy. But yeah, so that's another thing that's happened, but it looks pretty good. It's actually provided a really, really good texture, a really good base for the main colour. So yeah, not bad. But I would, if you do get that paint, it is good. You use a good brush, which can easily be washed out, because it will ruin your brush, because it's very, very thick. And also think of a paint you would like to paint on top to make it more realistic. But yeah, I've also, as you can see, the hump's been covered, because I covered it with a plaster cloth. I'm not sure if I showed you that in the last update. I don't think I did. No, I didn't. I plaster clothed over the clay, because you saw that clump of clay there last time. Plaster clothed all over that, and then paint over the top of that. And so yeah, what else have I done? Move this out of the way. Right, as well as the ballasting, as you can see, I've done a bit more weathering on here. Still, you can see a tiny bit of underlay sticking out there. That will need to be coloured in with weeds and maybe a bit of static grass tufts. Over the cobbles still, I haven't painted the cobbles, but as you can see here, we have the wagon. That was, I showed you at the end of the last update, which I was going to weather up. And what do you think of that? I am chuffed to bits with it. It's my first private owner wagon I've weathered. You see, it's got the replacement planks. Where's my finger to? There they are. There. As suggested by GWR941. I finally managed to get the tone in, and it looks really good. I've even rusted all of the metalwork. Go on, focus. Yeah, look at that. You can see I've done all the textured rust down there. And you just make it a little. Go on, focus. Oh, I'm having trouble with the focus there, but there. I've done all the wheels. I've even made it look like the rust is bleeding through the white. There's another replacement plank on the end, and you can see I've really gone into the tone with the buffers, as you can see here. Go on, focus. Focus. How come it never focuses when you don't want it to? Go on. There, yeah, you can see a bit of tone on the buffer there. It's focusing on coupling. Ah, there we go. Yeah, that's all powders and stuff. Obviously I've done my famous, rusted painting and all that with ballasting there. Inside, more replacement planks. And I've done the same on the other side. But we'll see a bit more of this wagon at the end of the video. And obviously there'll be a special video coming up in the week of the photos of on my little plinth outside with the little signals logos and everything to show you where it's off to. But yeah, basically, and also I'll feature that at the end of the video because I've got to talk a little thing about special events that are coming up very, very soon in the next few weeks. So I'll just put that as sort of thing to look the camera at. But another main update on the layout, back to the actual layout itself. Obviously, see I've done more of the ballasting and toning down here, and the little ramp going up there. But I have finally got round to putting static grass on the layout. This is that Woodland Scenics big bottle honey, was it Harvest Gold static grass? First layer. I'll put it on with my my FMR static grass applicator. And well, what do you think? Honestly, I am really, really pleased. I mean, look at that. Really blends in with the layout. I mean, that looks perfect. I mean, this little section here almost looks like it's finished already. I'm really, really chuffed with this, and I hope that you think that it looks quite realistic. Obviously, this is just the undercoat. I've got the undercoat paint, then this glue, and then this layer of static grass, and obviously I've got my knock static grass to go on top. I've ordered a bag of summer green because that beige was way too dark. Well, not dark. I mean, too uniformed, if you know what I mean. I wanted to get a bit of, it's got to have a bit of green in there. I thought it was on the internet, the pictures looked like it had a bit mixed in there, but obviously it doesn't. So what I'm going to do is get a tub, put the whole bag of the summer green that's on order, that Signals Models again, into that tub, and then put about a third of the beige colour, a third of the bag in, mix it all together, and then start applying it, and then using more summer green under the trees, where the trees have protected the grass, and it's got most of its colour still, which will all be on there. I still need to get a few more trees, which is basically will be I need as well. I've stopped here because I've got to paint the rock face. It's a bit messy because I've been chipping away at it, so the station fits in there more snugly. But basically, that's gonna. I've got to paint the rock from Compton Martin, which is a sort of a reddy. Well, it's like a grey. Well, it's more of a reddy grey clay colour, and that will be along there. It's the same story down at this end. I've got to do the rock face there because it's a steep rock face, same there, and obviously the main big rock face around there. But I've put the rock face there, so it's like it's been cut away so the station can slot in. And then obviously I'll continue with my underlayer on top. You see there's still bits of static grass that obviously were blown over, which weren't glued, but that will be static grass over the top of that, and then all the trees and all that. But yeah, so anyway, that's the main part of the update. If I go around to the little put the wagon on the plinth, go around to the main part. Oh well, not the main part, the fiddle yard. Anyway, let's talk about events that are coming up. Now, next, not in a fortnight's time, this is a Sunday, but it's under a fortnight now, on the Saturday the 22nd of June, yep, got it right, just checking the months and just figured it to myself. Yeah, I'm heading to Midsummer Norton with my mate #1 classic car fan, and we are going to the Midsummer and Midsummer Norton event at Norton Station. Obviously they've got a big Garland event there, and basically I'm hoping to meet Brazil 2044 there. He mentioned that in one of his videos recently, and I'd like to thank him, and please, anybody who has not subscribed to his channel, please subscribe to his channel. He's an amazing YouTuber, he always comments on videos, brilliant person. Well, it's just hard to, it's hard to explain, but he's just brilliant. And he's got all of his baseboards, and he's actually starting to build his layout, which is based on a preserved railway. And basically, he's a fan of the Somerset Dorset like me, and he's done loads of videos of preserved railways recently. He went up to Yorkshire and stuff. So please do check out his channel because he's doing updates, quite regularly now on how he's progressing on his layout. And I got a funny feeling when this video is going up, he's doing like a Minehead video of the mixed traction weekend, which he's just been to, and also he's got a new part of the board, so his layout is extending as well. But yeah, basically I'm hoping to meet him there. Obviously, the Midsummer Norton and Midsummer Norton event is basically their gala. They'll get their DMU running, I think. Running up the line, taking trips, and then I think they're doing their 08. Obviously, this is what happened last year anyway, and I hope they're doing it again. They're gonna do their 08 shunter for a driver for a fiver, I think. This is what happened last time. I'm just making it up at the moment as I'm going along because the event hadn't been posted yet. But this is what they normally do for their for event for the past few years. Driver for a fiver and one of the shunters. Obviously. Then they got all the museums and all that are open as normal, and I think they've got vintage classic cars and trucks in the car park. And I think this year, as a special, there is a model railway going. Sadly, Compton Martin isn't, obviously, as it's nowhere near complete. Although I was hoping this was the first event I was going to take it to. But they've got a proper Somerset Dorset layout going called Midford, which is on the famous part of the Somerset Dorset, where the Somerset Dorset went from single track to double track on its way out of Bath, and it crossed the famous viaduct where Titfield Thunderbolt was filmed. You know, at the start of the scene where the 14XX goes under the bridge. Well, you see a West Country rushing across the viaduct and the 14XX from Titfield Thunderbolt going underneath. That's that famous location. So you never know, that might be on that model railway, but I'm hopefully going to get some footage with Brazil 2044, a number one classic car fan, there, basically. So we hope to go on the train. Well, this is what I basically hope to do on the day. Go on the train, film everything there, museum, the vehicles, obviously line sign shots of the trains running, and and obviously the model railway as well. And then hopefully and then after that, hopefully, Brazil 2044 and us will walk down to Midsummer Norton Signals Models and actually go Signals Models, basically, because he's really interested. He really wants to go in there. And this is a wagon that will hopefully be over there by then. I might be taking it over there this Friday. I do not know. But, or I might be taking over when I actually go on that event. But, yeah, so be interesting. I'm sure that we'll be grabbing lots of goodies in the shop. So, I'll have to, sorry, basically Brazil 2044, if you're listening or watching this, please post some information on what time you plan to go to the event, so I know what time to meet you up there and basically everything like that. So yeah, that's what's basically happening. And then in a couple of weeks' time, on the 10th of July, I plan to meet up with Simon and Gavin of the Mully GWR channel and Macar Web. I basically meet them at the East Somerset Railway on Wednesday the 10th of July. I'm getting that right, hopefully. And obviously going on the railway there and doing lots of filming and stuff, which is really, really interesting because I need some side shots because I never really get round to it. But yeah, so 2 brilliant events planned. I also can't wait to get to know you free YouTubers anyway. Oh, and by the way, if you do live in the area and you want to go to those events, please do come along because it'd be interesting to meet you as well. Just let yourself know, and if you see me walking around, I'll explain a bit more maybe in the next update about what's happening and what times I plan to be going. But yeah, if you do see me there or I see you there, please make yourself known. So I'll go over and have a chat. So yeah, I think that's everything. Sorry, it's a bit rushed towards the end. I've noticed this video is coming on nearly 20 minutes now, and obviously people are probably going to lose interest because it's not really about Compton Martin anymore. It's about these events coming up. But yeah, anyway, can't wait to see you at these events. Brazil 2044, Macar Web, and Mully GWR. Can't wait. Really enjoying this, and I hope you are all enjoying the Compton Martin updates. I'm sure a bit more will be done by next week's update. So yeah, this has been SDJR7F88 speaking, and thanks for watching.